Pretty good signal, Jim. W6WAY, you're about an S7, and band conditions are very poor this morning. So good to hear you, W6WAY. We'll get you on the list there, Jim. Good to hear you, W5OG.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Norm. N9KJ and WB5DRI. Roger, Norm. Well, good to have you with us this morning, Norm. N9KJ and WB5DRI standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Club net at the top of the hour.
The radio's back on now. N5BE, put K0ZNC on there. John's on Echo Link there. W5OG.
Okay, John, very good. Yeah, I'll get him on there. Thank you.
Papa India X-ray mobile.
W5BE and W5OG. Don says he's going to be a one and done this morning, a one and done. And Lee, for your information, I'll relay him in this morning. K1BOB.
Yeah, fine business, Bob. K1BOB, W5OG. He's starting to net here in about 10 minutes.
K1BOB and 5B, roger that.
No, name's Bob. K1BOB, not ROG. K1BOB. Stand by for the flyer. 10 minutes.
Okay, I got that.
Roger, Roger.
We're not going to do Vector always.
Absolutely. Yeah, I used to get a vector to Hector from the sector director.
I don't think air traffic control can joke about that stuff anymore. K1BOB.
Yeah, this is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I had to step away a minute. Was that somebody calling me? Go ahead. I guess not. Net will start in about 5 minutes here on this frequency, W5OG.
Frequency is in use, sir. Net about to stop.
K1BOB, thank you for asking.
Well, good morning. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. It's now 1500 Zulu. Time to start the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Good morning to all. members and visitors. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I'll be net control for the net this morning. This group meets on this frequency at this time daily. Members of our group are active duty, retired, and veterans of the military air forces from all branches. We include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, missileers, support personnel, pretty much anyone involved with supporting the aviation mission from all of our armed forces. We also like to welcome visitors to join us on the net. You don't have to have any military experience or experience in the aviation field in order to participate in the net. The purpose of our group is to promote fellowship between those of us radio amateurs who devoted a portion of our lives, or spent a portion of our lives supporting the missions of our air forces. And this is a control net, contact net control. We prefer that you use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. I would invite you also to check out our website, airforcesflyersclub.org. I say that again, airforcesflyersclub.org. Find out all about the club and also some of its members. There's a bio page there, and also if you're ex-military from the aviation field and you'd like to become a member, there is an online application on our website. We'll get the list for the net this morning off of NetLogger, and doing the net logging duties this morning is Lee is in Arlington, Texas, my neighbor just to the west, and we do thank you again, Lee. And also, we have an Echolink node that we are monitoring that, and we use it to supplement and back up the HF if necessary. And we'll bring in Don K0ZNC. He'll be brought in simulcast by by K1BOB this morning, the commander. All right, so far on the list this morning, I have the following stations. As I mentioned, I've got Don to start things off, K0ZNC. Good morning, Don. And Uncle Cliff in the Mobile, W5PIX. Haven't heard you yet, Cliff, and I think you were saying you were having difficulty hearing yourself on the SDR. So conditions are not real good today, so we may have difficulty with you, but hopefully somebody can hear you this morning. Also, Mobile, I've got Bob, K2SJP. I was hearing him fine. And Norm, and up in Harvard, Illinois, we did actually hear you, Norm. You're hitting that Utah SDR pretty well. So I think your little 12-foot antenna is working good for you there. And good morning to you. Also got Charlie, K4YDB, and those of you that would like to watch the net in progress, you can do that on Charlie's YouTube live stream. And he will also have the question of the day posted there, so you don't have to write anything down. So thank you for that, Charlie, and good morning to you. And also we got on the list N5BE, as I mentioned. Lee is doing the net logging. My younger brother Brian in San Antonio, WB5DRI. And good morning again, Brian, and love to you and Susie. Got the Commander Bob, K1BOB out in Boise. And Ray, WB2JJO, good morning, Ray. And Captain Bill, W2WLD, good morning, Bill, Scotia, New York. And Jim at W6WAY in Corona. We've got Mike, KQ6E, good morning to you, Mike. And Professor Bob, NX6RG, good morning, Bob. And listening, we've got WA6LJS. John, good morning, John, if you're hearing us this morning. Hope it's going well with your selling your home there. All right, let me take over the air check-ins, and then we'll get started with the question of the day. Anyone that didn't call that would like to join the list this morning for the Air Force's Flyers Club net members or guests, call now, W5OG. Well, no takers. All right, How about Bob, K1BOB? Would you put a call out, Bob, from out west?
Certainly, Dale. K1BOB for next control.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Let's go out to Bill, W2WLD in Scotia. I hope you're hearing me somewhere or another there, Bill. Can you give a call out for additional check-ins? W5OG.
Yeah, Wilco, Dale. This is W2WLD upstate New York. Relaying from net control for the Air Force Supply Club. I'm taking check-ins. Members or guests, please call in. KB0, LTC, good morning, Larry. Anybody else? I got you one, Dale. It's 0 Bravo 0, Lima Tango Tango, Larry, over.
I wonder where he is located. I'm not hearing a thing, and he was not. I didn't hear him on the Utah SCR. But we'll get him on the list. KB0LTT. If you're hearing me, Larry, good morning to you. W5OG. Now, I'll get the question here going just in a minute. Make sure he's on the list there, Lee, if you would. Oh, you got him. KB0LTT. Okay, mighty fine. We'll get to you just shortly here. You're up toward the top of the list, Larry. All right, the question today is very simple. I didn't have time to do much, so I resurrected an old idea and kind of polished it up a bit. And it has to do with the space business again. And it has to do with the number of active satellites, which keeps increasing. In fact, over the last couple of years, it's been increasing at like 30% a year, which is a significant amount. As of May, the question is, as of May the 20th of this year, 2025, there are roughly how many satellites currently orbiting the Earth? And these are the active satellites, the ones that are actually in operation. And you can select the closest answer from the following. And Alpha is 12,000 satellites. B is 10,000 satellites. Charlie is 8,000 satellites, and D is 6,000. So it's a fairly easy question. A, 12,000, B, 10,000, C, 8,000, and D, 6,000. And the bonus question is, of these, what is the approximate in percentage number placed into orbit by Elon Musk's SpaceX Corporation? Of the total that are up there, both of the classes would be operational satellites. Which, how many of those were placed into orbit by Elon Musk's SpaceX Corporation? And the answers are A, 75%, B, 65%, C, 55%, and D, 45%. And the answer, to make it even easier, if it could be any easier, the answers are matched. In other words, if you think 8,000 might be the answer that Charlie answer, you would pick 55% are due to SpaceX. It would match up as Charlie that way. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We'll go down to the top of the list this morning. Again, as we normally do, start with Don, K0ZNC. Don, we hope things are going well with you there in Longmont, and you're doing well. K0ZNC, if you'd bring him in, Bob, K1BOB, over to you, W5OG.
K1DOB back to net control, and K1DOB is pretty close to Ogden, so you most likely won't hear me well there. K1DOB, back to you, Dale.
Okay, very fine, Bob and Don. Good copy here. You're coming in well, Bob, and the Echolink simulcast works great. So I do appreciate that, Bob, and good to hear from you, Don. All right, let's go to our first mobile. Let's try and got your answers there, Charlie, and 7-3 to you, Don. Have a great day. All right, W5PIX, Uncle Cliff, where are you mobiling? And hopefully we can hear you. Go ahead, W5OG. All right, the wonderful community of Hawker Heights. Good morning to you, Cliff. Yeah, solid copy on the Utah SDR. Hopefully conditions aren't improving. I see. When I started off this morning, I was struggling to get to the S5 mark on the Utah SDR S meter. Now it's up to 9, so conditions are improving, hopefully. All right, let's go to K2SJP, the second mobile to check in this morning. Bob, go ahead. You're up at W5OG. Good morning. K2SJP, you're up, Bob. Well, he may have arrived at home and is transitioning into his shack. Let's move along. We'll go to Larry, KB0LTT. I'm going to put my hearing aids in there, Larry, and see if I can pick you up this morning. Go ahead, you're up, W5OG.
Just having a little trouble with traffic
stand by, Larry.
over here. We'll be at the home QTH in about 10 minutes. Good morning to everybody. And let's see, my answer is going to be Delta, Dale, Delta. W5OG, K2SJP Mobile.
Yeah, I hear him. We got you, Bob. Mighty fine.
0 degrees or 360, however you want to specify. Cloudy, about 200 feet. Visibility is temperature 54 Fahrenheit, humidity. And the pressure is 3012. And as far as the question, I'm going to take a pass. Here's the question, and I'm able to look at Charlie's live screen there. You can look at it there as well. So with that, Dale, back over to you. W5OG and the group, KB0LTT Mobile, Iowa.
Yeah, fine, Larry, there in Iowa. And yeah, that wind was reads 000 or 360. We just say that's out of the north. Mighty fine, Larry. Good to have you with us this morning and riding along. And we understand that you didn't get the question, and that's quite okay. All right, let's try Norm. And we're glad to hear you this morning on the actual radio, Norm, not receive only. So your little portable antenna there is working good for you. N9 KJN, go ahead, Norm. You're up for the net, W5OG. Brian, is he talking?
He's talking.
There. Okay, Norm. Yeah, I can hear you there. I had to turn, crank the volume up on the Utah number 2. I hope they get that number 4, you know, the log periodic that's east facing, a big antenna up at 100 feet. It really picks up the weaker signals great from the Midwest. And but it's not. It's actually degraded for whatever reason, and it's been that way for some time. Hopefully they're working on it to get it back, and that'll improve your signal there. But you got a good signal, Norm. We are hearing you, and it's great to have you active in live and in person here this morning. All right, let's see. We've got a visitor here from Peoria, Arizona, Whiskey Kilo 7 Juliet. WK7J, you're up for the net, W5OG. Okay, Jack, mighty fine. I hear you well here on the local radio. And thank you for your service and as an ex-submariner. And I know not to call you guys submariners. You're not sub to anything. So you're submariners, and we do appreciate that that service there, Jack. All right, let's go to the other Jack in Soperton, Georgia. Good morning, Jack. KM4CAX, W5OG. Well, perhaps Jack is just listening this morning. Let me stand by one more time. Jack, are you there? KM4CAX, W5OG. I guess not. All right. Well, anyway, if you're listening, Jack, glad to have you in at least listening on the SDR. All right, let's go to Lee down in Arlington, and thanks again, Lee, for your help this morning. In 5BE, you're up, W5OG.
W5OG and 5BE. I don't know what just happened, but somebody threw a switch and just ran over on Utah. Like Bob, I'm a purveyor of Starlink. The other day when the power went out, I was able to get Starlink back up in just almost seconds with a battery power, and got that. So I had internet in the house. I had my Wi-Fi turned on. I had the TV going. Didn't even blink. So anyway, good stuff. Boy, Dale, this is such a moving target. It's a tweener between A and B, in my opinion. I'm going to go Bravo, because I think that's the closest. But this target is so moving. I mean, go back in the day when Alan Shepard was launched into space for a couple of minutes, right? Sputnik was up there running around. Telstar came out with their iconic space music, and now we've got between 10 and 12,000 of these puppies running around the earth. Wow. And I think Starlink is going to what, 23,000? Something like that. Anyway, I'm going to go Bravo because I think that's the closest, Dale. But excellent question. That's going to stimulate some discussion. Very good. W5OG N5B.
Yeah, finally. And I see that, I did, like I mentioned, I was struggling to get to the S5 mark out there in Utah, and then all of a sudden, it's down, and there's QSB, there's no question. You can see it. And we'll talk about the satellites, but it's very interesting. And in the RV world, which I'm very familiar with, you see more and more of those the satellite, the Starlink from the mobile rigs, the RVs there all around the country. I don't use that myself actually when I'm traveling. I have a system that uses the cell coverage from the digital part of the cell towers, and it works great, by the way. And here at home, I'm lucky. I live out in the country, out in the sticks, and we, for whatever reason, I've had fiber optic cable, 1 gig up and 1 gig down for over 2 years now. Absolutely amazing. So I couldn't afford to change and go to Starlink from here. And I do live out in the country, but this area around here is very progressive, and I think everybody in our county now has fiber optic service. It's amazing. Well, no, not in the towns. If you're in town, they're still working on the laying cable in through the streets of some of the little towns. Anyway, let's move along. We'll go to Charlie, K4YADB. Good morning, Charlie. You're up, W5OG. All right, so Charlie, mighty fine. Bravo for you. Let's move along. Go to Brian, WB5DRI. Good morning again, Brian. You're up, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG, WB5DRI. Well, good morning, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there, and good morning to all the flyers and the net here. Good to be back on the net here this morning, and I have to say that we've been very blessed with some good rainfall down here in San Antonio. Yesterday we had San Antonio set an 85-year-old rainfall record, so such a different start to the summer season for us here. It's wonderful. And we have more rain actually projected, I think, tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, did want to correct something from my net the other night. I said that my question was from the flyer. It was from the Texas flyover. The Texas flyover. So I got that wrong. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I was close. But anyway, it was from that particular email that I get, and I think it's also a podcast. Anyway, we're about 78 degrees right now, and only going to be around the 90-degree mark today, mostly cloudy, so it's going to be pretty nice. I can't stick around this morning, Dale. We're going out to have lunch with some old friends, actually from my job here in the Air Force. After I retired from the Air Force, working for the Air Force over at Randolph as a civilian. So we got to get out of here, but my answer is going to be Bravo, Bravo. I think maybe 10,000 and 65% in Elon Musk's satellite. So we'll see how that comes out. I can't stick around for the answer though, so I'll have to get it later. But I'll listen to the Charlie's live stream and pick up the answer later. So anyway, 73s everybody, and thanks for getting me in there this morning, Dale. Everybody have a great day out there, and keep your powder dry. W5OG, WB5GRI, back to net. Good day, everybody.
Yeah, fine, Brian. And 7-3 to you. And yeah, the Texas flyover, I do get that, Brian. But I missed that particular one, the email that you were referring to on that interesting question that you had the other night. Anyway, 7-3 to you, and love to Susie, and you all have a good day, and enjoy your lunch with your friends there. All right, let's go to the commander. Good morning again, Bob. You're up. K1BOB, W5OG.
There was a recent heavy launch, some of you probably saw on YouTube, and it wasn't totally successful, but that launch was to bring up a load of actually dummy Starlink satellites to see how they could be ejected. Leon already has it there. Alpha, Alpha. Oh, well, we'll see what happens here. Maybe we start a new money line with Ray. Ray, do you have faith in me? Back to you. W5OG. Thank you, Dale.
Okay, Bob. Got your answer there is Alpha, Alpha. Yeah, that was a tragic, I think he learned something from each of those launches with the big rocket launcher that he's got with all these 32 engines or whatever it is. Absolutely amazing. And with the capability that the SpaceX has, you just wonder. A door wouldn't open. That seemed illogical to me. But maybe there's more to it than I understand. But I did hear about that they couldn't complete the mission because of the door wouldn't open. They still learned a lot, and they were able to you know, you shut those engines down and at the right sequence and all that stuff. So that's good. All right, let's move along. Go to Ray, WB2JJO. Good morning to you, Ray. You're up, W5OG.
Good morning, Dale. W5OG from WB2JJO. Wow, I can't even hear myself on these. Well, I hope somebody can relay me in there, Dale. We got cloudy and 65 degrees, and the answer to the question I'm going to go with Alpha Alpha. I'm going to follow the commanders, and I'm going to see where it's going to take us. So I'm pretty sure it's Alpha Alpha. So that will be here, Dale. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for the great question for sure. W5OG, WB2JJO.
Okay, Ray. Yeah, I heard you locally here. You're not making the Utah SDR as you normally do, so that's interesting. The conditions are down somewhat today for sure. Got your answer all okay as Alpha Alpha, and I see that Lee heard you also there. All right, let's go to Wild Bill, W2WLD. Good morning, Bill. You're up, W5OG.
Yeah, I hope you can hear me, Dale. Propagation is absolutely terrible here today. I'm hearing you up and down. The only clear station I heard was Larry, believe it or not. 68-degree day, intermittent rain, nothing much going on today here. The question, when I first looked at it, I missed the word active. It didn't register, so I thought, gee, that's got to be a high number, probably alpha. But then when I saw what percent that would mean that were launched by Musk, I couldn't believe it would be that high. So since you did pair up the answers, I went back and looked and it said active. So I said, well, yeah, maybe it's not that high a number. So, and I really based my answer on a guess that Elon Musk and SpaceX has only launched about 40, well, that's a lot, 45%. So I focused on Delta Delta, and that's what I asked you to put me down for. Delta Delta. W5OG, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill, Delta Delta for you. Yeah, we'll talk about this here just shortly. And, yeah, conditions are very, very poor. You're not real strong with me at all like your normal signal. I even had to move the antenna slightly to get you better off the back there. All right, let's see if Jim is still copying me in Corona. W6WAY, good morning. Jim, you're up, W5OG. All right, Jim, mighty fine. Charlie for you, and very good. And you do have a good signal today, considering how poor conditions are in general. Anyway, good to hear you this morning, and sounds like your voice sounds like you're doing well, and we hope that continues. All right, let's go to Mike, KQ60. Good morning, Mike. Hope I can hear you, W5OG. Let me know when he finishes. I'm not hearing him.
He faded out of me, Dale, but his answer was Bravo, Bravo, K1BOB.
Yeah, I hear him. I think he did turn it back now. All right, Mike, mighty fine. Yeah, at first I couldn't hear you, and Bob was hearing you, and then at the end I was hearing you, and Bob lost you. So, but we did copy Bravo, Bravo for an answer, and I hope everything is well with you and your family there. All right, let's go to Professor Bob in Pleasanton. If I bet you I can hear you this morning, Bob. NX6RG, W5OG.
W5OG, this is NX6RG. Boy, I hope you can hear me. I'm not hearing you. Let me check just a minute. Well, I'm not topping myself very well on the other SDR either in Georgia. Oh, well. Anyway, I am topping you locally, Dale, but not your normal strength today. Well, this is kind of confusing to me. I don't know which answer to give. It's into buying SpaceX. It's still pre-IPO, but some of the pre-IPO shares are being traded, and you can buy pre-IPO shares if you want to pay the price. So I looked into that, and then about a couple of weeks ago, but I can't come up with your numbers, and I don't know. I think if I take Elon's percentage, that would be Bravo. But it's more than Bravo in numbers. In fact, I think it exceeds Alpha. But anyway, I guess I'll go with Bravo, Bravo, since you have paired answers, and we'll see how that works out, Dale. W5OG, NX6RG.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, magic dipole that you have a big signal. I'm not having any trouble with you, but yeah, you're right. I don't hear you on the Utah SDR. So, all right, let's go to Rod, and Bravo, Bravo for you. And we'll move along to Kilo Lima 1 Yankee. Rod, you're up, W5OG. Good morning. All right, Rod. Yeah, you have a good signal with me also this morning, so that's strange. It seems like the shorter skip is rather selective. Either you get it or you don't. So, all right, Mighty Fine got your answer there as let's see, where is it? Oh, okay, Alpha, yeah. And you're checking out. So 7-3 to you, Rod. Good to hear from you again this morning. All right, let's go to Art in WX7 Lima Lima. Glad you could join us, Art. Hopefully you're hearing me and I can hear you. Go ahead, W5OG. Okay, Bob, thank you. Yeah, he faded down. I was hearing him at first there, but he went right into the noise with that QSB. Bravo, bravo for Art, and Art 7-3 to you. Have a great day there, and good to hear from you. All right, couple receive only. Let's see WA6LJS. Good morning again, John. I think I mentioned you as listening there before. And also Ken from Kingman, Arizona, K7ARN. Good morning to both of you gentlemen. And we'll talk to you perhaps later on Echolink there, John. All right, that's the bottom of the list, unless I missed anybody. Did I miss anyone on the initial trip through the list? Call now, W5OG. Okay, hearing none, let me go ahead and talk about the question. Number of active satellites in Earth orbit has been increasing. In fact, the last couple of years, it's a 30% year-over-year increase. Incredible. If that continues, what can we expect? Who knows? Maybe it'll change HF propagation even. maybe Professor Bob can address that sometime. How many would it take? I don't know. Anyway, and the question was how many active satellites in Earth's orbit, and the figures were very interesting to me, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and have this as a question, because it is increasing rapidly, and the answer that I had was alpha for both alpha. It's an amazing. These are amazing numbers to me. And as of May 2025, and this is there were a couple of different references that said that this number is correct, 11,700 as of the first week in May. So that's pretty good indication of the actual numbers. Probably by the end of May now, it's going to be somewhat north of 12,000. But let's just say, for practical purposes, 11,700, which is close to answer A. And incredibly, active with SpaceX right now, 8,774. And that's, if you divide that out, you get 0.74999. So it's pretty close to 75%. So the answer was alpha. I was amazed as some of you there. So anyway, thank you for participating and taking part in it. That'll be the answer for the day. You're grading your paper, so if you like Bravo better, that's you probably can find some reference to that. I don't know, but that'll be all right. All right, that is the question and the answers. Let's go ahead and start. Well, let me take a quick standby and see if we have any last-minute check-ins. Anybody that would like to join us this morning, you call now, W5OG. Somebody way down in my noise. Can I get a relay on that station? Anybody hear him, W5OG? Try it one more time, the kilo, and then you fade it into the noise. Go ahead, W5OG. Kilo November 4, Tango November Zulu. I did copy at that time. Go ahead, give us your name and QTH, over. And you said your name is Tony, is that correct? All right, Kilo November 4, Tango November Zulu. In Duluth, Georgia, I copied you well, Tony. You're about a 5 and 7 that time with me. So mighty fine. Anything for the net, Tony. Welcome to the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Go ahead. Well, you faded right into the noise, Tony. Anything else for the net before we move on? Over. Oh, my call sign is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. W5 Ocean, Germany, okay? Yeah, a lot of QSB on the net today, so 7-3 to you. All right, let's go ahead and start through the list for the 73 round. Let's go to Uncle Cliff, W5PIX, in the mobile. Go ahead, Cliff, W5OG. Cliff, are you there? W5PIX mobile, W5OG. Anybody here, Cliff?
Who's there now? He turned to Dale, K1DOB. He was on a phone call earlier. Back to you.
Okay, well, I was not able to. I heard it when you said something there, Bob, about it. You can hear him. I could hear him too. And then he quickly faded right back into the noise. All right, let's try Bob. If you're back at the home location there in Holiday, Bob. K2SJP, W5OG. You're up. K2SJP, 7-3 round, Bob, W5OG.
W5OG, K2SJP, and we are in the house here in Holiday. Okay, on the question, we did not get that right. That's very interesting. And thanks for running the net there. We'll be on Echolink right after the net. W5OG, K2SJP.
Yeah, you got a loud buzz there, Bob, on your signal there, and you can see it on the. It's amazing on the. You're so strong that it's a red line through your signal, and it's about. You can almost tell the exact cycles here. It looks like it's about I don't know, maybe 30, 40. Not much more than that, maybe 50 cycles, something like that, which is very interesting. So I don't know what's causing that. It's a new, artifact there on your signal, but you can see it right on the display here. Anyway, mighty fine there, Bob, and we'll see you on Echolink. Let's go to Larry in the mobile. KB0LTT. Go ahead, Larry. You're up 7-3 round.
All the way around. I'm trying to hook up on Echolink after the net. KB0LTT, 73.
All right. Heard you locally that time. Very fine, Larry. See you on Echolink. N9KJN. Norm, go ahead. We'll see if we can hear you still this morning. N9KJN, you're up for the 73 round. Norm, W5OG. Well, I've lost Norm. I think I heard him in there right at the first, and then he faded down in the noise. Anybody hear him?
N9, KJN, Norm, are you still there? 73 round, K1DOB. I heard him earlier, Dale. K1DOB, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Okay, let's go to WK7J in Peoria, Arizona. Go ahead, Jack, if you're still there for the 73 round, W5OG. Okay. We'll try and keep that in mind when it's 100 degrees here and and it's 120 there. No matter how you slice it, it's still hot. All right, Jack, mighty fine. Come back and join us when you can. You'd be most welcome. Now let's see if Jack, the other Jack, KM4CAX 73 round. Jack, if you're there, W5OG. Yeah, I don't hear Jack this morning. Anyway, 73 to you and Dora, Jack. Hope everything is well. All right, let's go to Lee, N5BE, 73 round. Lee, W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG N5BE. Great question, Dale. This question reminded me of some hijinks that I created out of the deer lease in West Texas. We're on a big commercial deer lease, 280,000 acres, and 10 of us were in this one sector, and we all carried those Walmart walkie-talkies. So I'm sitting in the blind, before dawn, so I key up the radio, and, and I kind of disguised my voice, and I said, this is, Moonbase Alpha to Enterprise, Moonbase Alpha to Enterprise, come in Enterprise. So I just carried on this whole fake conversation, between the space shuttle and Moonbase Alpha. So we get back to camp for breakfast, and there was just a buzz. They're all excited. They heard the space shuttle on their little Walmart walkie-talkies. Lee, did you hear it? And I said, no, I forgot to turn my radio on. To this day, they believe they listen to it. W5OG N5BE.
Good chuckle there, Lee. Thank you for that. Sound like fun for sure. All right, Charlie, K4YDB 73. Thanks for the help, Charlie, with the live stream. W5OG. All right, Charlie. Thank you again. All right, let's go to the commander, K1BOB 73, Bob, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, fun question. I'm kind of up on this stuff because I use Starlink, and the other thing is the plans for the future for Neon is to get up to over 4,000 satellites in the air. So he's going to I bet we start making offensive systems for up there, which I think the Russians and China already have there. You don't hear much about that. You never hear anything about our space command these days, because I guess it's all top secret of what they're doing and not doing. But it's going to be a war in the sky, a World War IV maybe. I don't know. We'll see if they don't have a World War III first. Anyway, very good question. A lot of fruitful thought there. I appreciate it. Hey, what was Leon's answer again? I kind of forgot that. Did he get it right?
Lee, let's see. Lee said bravo, bravo. He was a little bit short there, Bill, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm sorry, Lee. I didn't know. Thank you very much, Bill. One question. We'll see you next week.
Yep, and you were the first one that got the correct answer there, Bob. So you were more up on it perhaps than others. And Lee, he said it was between A and B. I think he did mention that. All right, 7-3. My yard guy's out here blowing off the deck, so it's making it noisy. Let's go to Ray, WB2JJO, and you also got the right answer there, Ray. 7-3 round, W5OG.
W5OG from WB2JJO. Oh, fine goodness, Dale. I'll tell you what, I'm hearing you pretty good on your electric radio, but boy, I'll tell you what, you're having a rough time as far as anything else. So you're doing a real good job on the neutral SDR. And okay, on the question, I use my dartboard on this one. I just put the what do you call the answers up on the dartboard, and I just threw a dart at it, and it said A. So that's what I got. That's how I got my answer. So that's over to you there, Dale. Thank you for the fantastic question. That's for sure. And it's amazing. It's just amazing how many satellites are up there. Back over to you, sir. W5OG, WB2Dales.
All right, Ray, 7-3 to you. Have a great day and a good weekend coming up here shortly. All right, let's go to Captain Bill, W2WLD, 7-3 round, Bill, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, fine. Well, I guess on the question, I could not have been more wrong, but I'm amazed at the percent of active satellites that have been launched by SpaceX. So, great question. Thank you. Everybody have a great day. 73. W5OG, W2WLD.
All right, Bill. Yeah, it's amazing to me how many, well, as you say, you know, the percentage is incredible, but how many it takes to do what he wants to do. You know, when you think about it, they're low Earth orbit, so there's got to be a satellite in order for you to get reliable internet. There has to be a satellite pretty much along right, following the other one through your view there of the sky. So that's interesting to me, at least. And it's fascinating, and I'm kind of like Professor Bob here. I'm not so sure it wouldn't be a good investment in that overall program, because it can do nothing but increase in value. All right, let's go to Jim, W6WAY, 73 Jim, W5OG. All right, Jim, 7-3 to you. Good to hear you. All right, Mike, AQ6E. I hope I can hear you better this time. Go ahead, W5OG. All right, fine, Mike, and you did come up. You're S7 now. You know, it wouldn't be much between that signal and an S9 mark. So things are strange, and there's a lot of deep fading going on. All right, Professor Bob, NX6RG, W5OG.
Carried payloads aloft. I don't know. Anyway, with that said, very interesting question. And boy, I'll tell you, I wish I could. I think everyone and I'll probably be listening in on the net tomorrow since I've got my W5OG.
Yeah, fine. Fine, Bob. I went back and looked at that reference to that, and the line said something about bringing the total number to 8774. 7,100 of them, as it turns out, are active. So you're more correct there. So I'll have to give credit, since the Bravo answer is probably more correct on the for the second question. I did not realize that, and I apologize to everyone. You're going to keep us straight here, Bob, for sure. I guess I'd have to say 80 A would be right, and probably B for the second question. Anyway, if you have A or B, you get full credit. 7-3 to you there, Bob, and thanks for that. All right, that's the last of the to the initial list on for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net this Thursday morning. I'll take a quick standby and see if I missed anybody, or any last comments, or any last check-ins before we close the net. Call now, W5OG.
W5OG, W5ABI.
W5ABI, good morning, Joe. Anything this morning that you'd like to contribute to the net? Go ahead, W5OG.
No, boy, the conditions are horrible. But anyhow, I had to get these guys started on this deck. I just got to get that W5OG, W5ABI.
All right, Joe, 7-3 to you, and yeah, you're not your normal strength at all, so conditions are poor. There was one other station calling there. Go ahead, W5OG, try again. Yeah, good signal, and remind me of your name there. I know what it is, and I can't place it. Go ahead, G7B, W5OG. All right, Chris. Yeah, mighty fine. Yeah, good signal. You're good S7 with me. With some QSB, but conditions otherwise today are very poor. So good to hear you also, and come back and join us when you can. Whiskey Golf 7 Bravo, W5OG. 7-3, Chris. And I think that's it. Was there another station there? Anybody else want to check in before we close the net? Or any last comments? Call now. K7 Zanzibar, Tokyo. Good signal, W5OG. All right, Bill, I think you've checked in with us before there. With Whiskey 7 Zulu Tango. Mighty fine. W7... Yeah, ZT. That's hard to say for some reason. And it says Joseph in Pflugerville, Texas, but I know that's probably not right. It's W7, that's why. But we know your counterpart there with a kilo call sign. It's W7 Zulu Tango there, Lee. Mighty fine, Bill. Anything else for the net this morning before we close? Go ahead, W5OG. All right, Bill, mighty fine. Yeah, S7. So your lash up is working well there for you. 7-3 to you. All right, this has been the Thursday edition of the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. I want to thank everyone for their participation today and taking part in the question and in the net. All great comments as normal. We invite you to come back again and join us tomorrow. We'll begin at promptly at 1500 Zulu. We do every day of the year. And We will now close the net. God bless our troops and God bless our country. And 7-3 to everybody. Have a great day. W5OG now closing the Air Force and Flyers Club net and returning the frequency to normal amateur